Good evening. Chag Hanukkah Sameach, a Freilichen Hanukkah, and Happy Hanukkah. I'm Toby Katz, and on behalf of the Sisterhood of Temple Israel of Great Neck, welcome to our 2022 music and comedy Hanukkah Extravaganza. We have high hopes. This is an evening of pure joy. We have beautiful Hanukkah-themed music and some vaudeville-style comedy. So turn the sound up on your device, fortify yourself with a plate of latkes, some jelly donuts, a bowl of chocolate coins and raisins and nuts. Sit back and enjoy. Hanukkah music can be found in some unexpected places. Let's begin with a sample of the song Dreh Dreidel, which means spin dreidel, performed by the United States Army Field Band and Chorus at their Christmas concert. You'll notice the poinsettias on the stage and the Christmas tree on the right. So I'm going to share the screen and let's take a look.
Und bring mir Wein, der mir voller Freitag nein, lei, 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 lei.
Okay, that was just a taste. And we'll have the rest of the song later. In another Hanukkah first, last night, the first night of Hanukkah, the game between the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants featured a menorah lighting ceremony, the first time in the history of the NFL. An estimated 80,000 fans saw it in person, and unless they interrupted it with commercials, possibly more than 18 million viewers watched at home. This was an in-your-face message to the anti-Semites out there who feel empowered to slither out from under their rocks and make anti-Semitism once again an acceptable feature of American life. Hanukkah reminds us that over the millennia, some of the world's most powerful empires tried to destroy us. They're all long gone. We're still here. Now, we can't have a Hanukkah program without first telling the story of Hanukkah.
No.
613 is an a cappella group that produces holiday song parodies. Last year, their Hanukkah video was a parody of West Side Story. Wait, excuse me for a moment. I want to adjust. Oh, okay, fine. I wanted to adjust my screen. It's adjusted. It was a Hanukkah West Side Story parody. Now, if West Side Story were really about Hanukkah instead of two rival New York gangs, this is what it would probably have looked like.
Candles were lighting on Hanukkah. Cousins were signing on Hanukkah. Fried foods were biting on Hanukkah. And we were diving on Hanukkah. I made a clay cradle to spin. Why does it only land on chin? You've got me with my family. I'll take a locket if you please. Dear mighty Antiochus, you gotta understand.
You boys can kiss our tuchus and get out of our land.
The soldiers smashed our temple and all our oil is bad. Goodness gracious, now you made us mad. Gee, King Antiochus, you're really obtuse. You'll never get us worshipping Apollo or Zeus. We don't bow to idols you made out of wood.
Cause polytheism's no good.
It's no good, it's no good, it's no good, no, it's just no good. All this polytheism's no good.
Eight nights, we celebrate God's might, and Maccabees for saving the day. Eight nights, a festival of lights. We give thanks that we've lived to this day. 8 days we'll have this celebration for miracles that happen, the victories and the light. Now here we are, our hearts and candles shining like stars. 8
Happy Hanukkah! We hope you enjoyed this video as much as we loved making.
Okay. Oh, Rabbi, I'm very sorry. I'm sorry that you're having trouble with it. Is anybody else having trouble with the audio? No,
It was
I'm
just in the
sorry.
beginning, and then it cleared up, Toby.
Oh, okay, Rabbi, thank you. By the way, welcome, Baruch haba. Welcome, glad you're here.
Thank
Okay.
you.
The Hanukkah story is set in Jerusalem. And after the 6-day war, when the old city was reunited in Jewish hands, Israeli composer Naomi Shemer, excuse me, I'm admitting somebody. Israeli composer Naomi Shemer wrote a love song to the city of Jerusalem. It speaks of a city once desolate and abandoned, but now reborn and alive. Here is a beautiful version of Jerusalem of Gold sung by women cantors from around the world. It was recorded at the height of the COVID pandemic, so everyone is singing in their own home, and thanks to some incredible editing, they've all come together. Now, this has no English subtitles. So I'd like to very briefly review the translation before we listen to the video. And by the way, you're going to recognize some of these names. Some of these cantors have appeared as guest artists here at Temple Israel. So you'll recognize them. Let's take a look at the text. Okay, I'm going to read it. Oh, I better stop it. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Happy Hanukkah! We hope you enjoyed this video as much as we loved making.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to read it. I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to read the English because this might not be, it looks a little foggy to me, so that's it. The very opening. Avir Harim Tsalul Kayayin. The mountain air is clear as wine, and the scent of pines is carried and this is carried on the breeze of twilight with the sound of bells. And in the slumber of tree and stone, captive in her dream, the city that sits solitary, and in its midst is a wall. Now, the chorus is repeated periodically. I'd like to take a look at the chorus for a minute. Yerushalayim shel zahav, Jerusalem of gold. Oops, somebody's coming in. V'shel nechoshet v'shel or, and of nechoshet and of light. Now, nechoshet is translated here as copper. It's not copper. Nechoshet is bronze. And bronze in that period was the hardest metal known, the hardest metal made. It's a combination of melting copper and tin together. It was used for weapons, it was used for armor, for farm implements, for ritual objects. It was the hardest known substance. Now, originally, it was made by melting copper and arsenic, but the fumes that it created were lethal. So it didn't take long for people to decide, hey, we'd better find something else. So they found tin. And the last line, Halo l'chol shirayich, for all your songs, ani kinor, I am a lyre. Now this is a lyre. It's basically it's a harp that you hold in your arm. It's played like a guitar, either with strings or with your fingers. And this has become a Jewish symbol. We see in the book of Samuel that David would calm King Saul when he was in one of his moods by playing on the lyre. I have a test, although I'm afraid to ask. Where is the kinnor first mentioned in the Torah, and under what circumstances? If you know the answer, unmute yourself. Okay, I don't want to embarrass anybody. In Genesis,
Psalm 150.
pardon me?
Psalm
Okay.
150.
Psalm, and where in the Torah itself? Psalm 150, yes. And where in the Torah itself? In the book of Genesis, before chapter 5. Okay, I didn't know about Psalm 150. You got one on me. In Genesis chapter 4, verse 21, they talk about the descendants of Lamech and what aspect of civilization they are responsible for creating, be it animal husbandry, be it metallurgy, be it music. And they mention Yuval. Yuval is called Avi Kinor, the father of the Kinor. And that's where we have the first reference. So it goes back, they believe, historians have documented this musical instrument back to 3000 before the Common Era. It's one of the oldest instruments that exist. So this is the chorus when they sing Yerushalayim shel zahav, Jerusalem of gold, Shel nechoshet, and of copper, or bronze actually, and of light. Halol lechol shirayach, for all your songs, ani kinor. I am a kinor, I am a lyre. Okay, so let's take a look at the rest of it. Here the cisterns have dried, the marketplace is empty, and no one frequents the Temple Mount in the old city. And in the caves in the mountain, winds are howling. In other words, it's desolate. And no one descends to the Dead Sea, B'derech Yericho, by way of Jericho. Now the song takes a turn for the more positive. That one line is obscured, so I'll ring it. Oh Lord. Sorry. Let's try here. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm trying to back it up.
We hope you enjoyed this video as much as we loved making.
Oh, why don't I just read it to you, okay? But as I come to you to sing today and to adorn crowns to you, meaning to tell your praise, I am the smallest of the youngest of your children, meaning the least worthy of doing so, and of the last poet of all the poets born. For your name scorches the lips like the kiss of a seraph. If I forget thee, Jerusalem, and again, that's another psalm, which is all of gold. And then we have the chorus again. And lastly, the most upbeat. We have returned to the cisterns, to the market and to the marketplace. A ram's horn calls out on the Temple Mount in the old city, and in the caves in the mountain, thousands of suns shine. We will once again descend to the Dead Sea, B'derech Yericho, by way of Jericho. Now, let's enjoy. At the end, I'd like you to notice the name at the top of the credits. It's a familiar name. Let's enjoy the music.
ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, עלו לכל שירייך אני כינור. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, עלו לכל שירייך אני בואי היום לשיר לך ולך לקשור כתרים, קטונתי מצעיר בנייך ומאחרון המשוררים, כי שמך שורדת השפתיים כנשיקת שרף, עם אש החך ירושלים אשר כולה זהב. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, עלו לכל שירייך אני כינור. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, עלו לכל שירייך אני חזרנו אל בורות המים, לשוב אל הכיכר, שופר קורא בהר הבית בעיר העתיקה. וחמורות אשר בסלע, אלפי שמשות צורחות, נשוב לרגל ים המלח בדרך יריחו. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, עלו לכל שירייך אני כינור. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, עלו לכל שירייך אני
Those of you who know anything about film editing know that that was an incredible technical achievement, because they were all in separate places and it sounded like everybody was totally blended together in one room. It was incredible. Finally, every year, the National Yiddish Theater, the Folksbiene, hosts a dinner and concert for Hanukkah, which is their major fundraiser for the year. In December of 2020, at the height of COVID, the annual Hanukkah concert was virtual. And we have two excerpts from that concert. Before I do that, they've revived Fiddler auf den Dank, Fiddler on the Roof. It's running 2 more weeks, this week and next week. And if any of you want to see it again, or if you haven't seen it and want to catch it, you still have this week and next week. Here are two excerpts from that concert. The first is a satire of Laugh-In called Lach-In, and it's basically Yiddish vaudeville. Everything that's in Yiddish has subtitles, so don't worry about it. And the next is Hanukkah Oy Hanukkah, and a more complete version of Drei Dreidel. And I think you'll like it. Let's listen.
Ma, I'm gonna come down to visit you in Miami Beach.
No, good. When you get to the building, push the button with your elbow and the doorman will let you in. Go to the elevator and push the button with your elbow and take it up to the 7th floor. Go to the right to apartment 7E and push the button with your elbow and I'll let you in.
Ma, okay, but why do I gotta push the button with my elbow?
What, you're not coming empty-handed, are you?
Bello, was ist geschehen mit dir? Ich hab dich nicht gesehen, schon jahrelang. Du siehst euch so anders.
Aber ich bin nicht.
Was, das so geändert? Bist gewesen so kreuz und stark. Und jetzt, du bist das so da. Bist krank geworden.
Ich probier dir sagen, ich bin...
Und dein Haar ist gewesen so dick und dunkel. Und jetzt, du bist krank und mit der Licht.
Ich probier dir sagen, ich bin...
Hoi, Bell, kein, was ich kenn dich. Hast das so geändert?
Herr, ich probier dir sagen, ich heiß Moishe, nicht Berl.
Ah, so. A viele den Namen gewählt.
Oh, joy, es geht Regen. Open your umbrella.
Hilaria, my umbrella's full of holes.
Why'd you bring it?
How was I supposed to know it was gonna rain?
Rebbe, oi, hab ich Sores.
Was ist?
Mein Freund hat nur was ein Kind geboren.
Mazel tov. Was war das so ist?
Ich bin nur verheiratet 3 Monaten.
Herr, du bist verheiratet mit ihr 3 Monaten?
Ja,
Und sie ist mit dir verheiratet 3 Monaten?
gerecht?
Und ihr seid beide verheiratet 3 Monaten?
Ja.
Und wie viel ist 3 plus 3 plus 3?
Oh, 9 Monaten! Danke, Rebbe, danke!
Why did you die? Why did you die?
Pardon me, mister? Who died?
My wife's first husband. Why did you die? Waitress, I'm starving to death. Please bring me something to eat.
No, what can I bring you?
How about some borscht?
Borscht, this early in the day? A Shayna Meissen.
Borscht, okay, then make it a knish.
A knish? Where am I supposed to get a knish this late in the day?
How about some chicken soup?
Good, yes, perfect. That I can definitely make. When would you like it?
When would I like it? I want it now.
What do you mean now? First you gotta catch a chicken, then you have to take it to the shoichet, then you gotta flake it, then you gotta salt it, drain it, and boil it. If you're lucky, it'll be ready tonight.
Please bring me anything. A herring, a bagel, a bulky, a kugel, a simmis, krumlach, kishka, kasha, flaken, sal.
Gay vase, he passed out. No wonder, he ate so much.
Hanukkah, oi Hanukkah, ayom tefasheiner, alles ikera frillige, niet on noch a zeiner, alle nacht in dreidel spielen mir, frische Häselatkes essen wir. Jetzt finden sind Kinder, die Hanukkah liegt helle heim. So jeder was Wunder, was singen Wunder und tanzt in freilichen Horn. So jeder was Wunder, was singen Wunder und tanzt in freilichen Horn.
Bring mir Bräut und bring mir Wein, weil mir alle freiwillig sein.
I'll swing like a
fleisch und Fisch und auf weiß gedeckten Tisch. Die Woche in Hanukkah ist auch bei mir der Lohn. Die Woche in Hanukkah ist auch bei mir der Lohn.
Op die blokjes zijn je maar prima, nooit er zijn getrapt.
Oi, tausend sind in jeder Farbe Stadt, bin ich mit dir beim Stab. Die Woche in Hanukkah ist auch bei mir der Lohn. Die Woche in Hanukkah ist auch bei mir der Lohn.
That was amazing, Toby.
Thank you. I was gonna unmute everybody, but it looks like, let me see if I can do it anyhow. I'm gonna unmute everybody. Oh, everybody is unmute yourselves.
We did.
Well, no, some people are still muted. I'm gonna unmute you.
You, Toby. That was delightful.
It was
Thank you.
fabulous.
Thank you very much. Now, it's 7:37. Oh, Lord, I don't know what this is. It's 7:37. We still have, we have till about 5 to 8. So if anybody would like an encore, tell me what it is and I can call it up and play it again.
I found the reference in Psalm 150. I put it in chat.
Oh, let me take a look. Okay.
I think it's all over the Psalms. There's many.
Yes, actually, there are a lot of references in the Psalms.
Well,
But
that
if,
one
if
specifically is all about instruments.
what it's what Psalm, which one is it?
150, 150.
Psalm 150. Okay. Basically, the reference in Genesis in Bereshit is specifically to that instrument, because I don't think a violin was invented yet.
Right.
Right.
So, but it's interesting, you know, we do have a strong connection to music as Jews. We have a very strong connection to it.
I forgot how many familiar faces were in that video.
Yeah, that's it. Two of the cantors actually were guests here at Temple Israel. Magda Fishman, she was the first woman who performed, and Elizabeth Shamash, who is, I understand, Elizabeth Shamash, I understand, is related to our chazan.
Yes, it's his cousin.
Cousin, yeah.
Okay.
So it's interesting. I thought that was a beautiful piece of music.
It was.
And
I saw it during the COVID. When they recorded it. It was on JBS a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I got this online. I have a live action screen capture program on my computer. So when I see something that looks interesting, I capture it. And I've had this for a while. I've had most of them for a while. And Karen and I was talking that we didn't really do any, we don't have a specific Hanukkah program. So I said, I have a lot of stuff. Why don't we use that? And Karen said, okay. And here we are.
Dina, the little redhead, is still performing. She's 9 years old now.
She's 9? Oh, the little girl in the folks
She was like 6 there, but she's 9 now, and she's performing. She does several gigs with her father. Her father plays the clarinet, and he's the conductor for the fiddler orchestra.
Oh, you know, the Folkspiana has a children's chorus.
Yes, I know.
And they bring them up. For those of you who don't know, The Folkspina is a union house.
Yep.
The performers are equity.
The woman
And they
Yes.
also, the Folkspina also has an agreement with the Juilliard School of Music that if any of their students would like to perform with the Folkspina, they will teach them Yiddish.
Wow.
And they
Toby,
can
it's
perform.
Rabbi Stecker. This is
Oh,
is
hi,
great.
Rabbi. I didn't
Hello.
see you come in. Hi, Rabbi.
That's okay. No, I came in. I was a little bit late. I wrote to you saying I wasn't sure if I'd be able to make it, and I'm glad that I did. I have a question for the Yiddish experts. May I ask?
A
So
question.
the
I
Folkspieler
hope
had
someone
this
has an
wonderful-
answer.
Well, maybe, who knows? The Folkspieler, and it's very time related. It's very appropriate for the holiday. So the Folkspieler, they do these programs for children, and they had this whole scene about the two different words for potato. So bulbous are potatoes, and so is
Bulbous, yes.
kartoffel.
Yes.
And so obviously for Hanukkah, it's a very important word. And how do you know when to use which? Or is it a dialect, a regional difference? Because there. Does
Ellie, do you know?
anybody know when you use bulba and when you use kartoffel? Say potato.
It's probably regional.
Yeah.
Regional.
And it depends how much the German influence is there, because
Sure.
Kartoffel is German.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's regional.
I heard it's a little fancier, maybe. Like, like if you're in a nice restaurant, you say kartoffel.
Well, kartoffel is
Sounds
the
right.
And if you're watching your pennies, it's bulbous.
Yeah.
That's a good point. The potato wasn't really introduced into Eastern Europe until about like the time of the American Civil War. And in Eastern Europe, people were scared of it because potatoes have these lumps and bumps all over. And people thought, well, if you eat it, you're going to get leprosy.
Right.
Because, the lumps and bumps and everything like that. And the main vegetable in the winter anyhow was cabbage, because cabbages are easy to grow and they last forever in storage. So people ate cabbages when there was nothing else available. And one year there was the crop failed. So people had a choice. They could either eat potatoes or starve. So, given that choice, so they cooked up a potato, boiled it, and they said, hey, this is good. And basically they decided, well, if I'm going to starve to death, I don't have to worry about leprosy.
Correct.
So that's basically how these things got introduced.
Right. And if you fry it, it's even better. As my son said, you could fry a shoelace, it would be delicious.
Probably. Actually, originally latkes were made out of cheese. In the book of Judith, that's how she seduced Holofernes with very salty cheese. But when the Jews came to Northern and Eastern Europe, around Hanukkah, the geese would come to market, and geese were very plentiful and very inexpensive. So instead of using butter, they had goose fat, and you can't fry cheese latkes in goose fat. So that's when they switched over to potatoes or shoestrings, whichever you prefer. But that was it. But it's interesting, the foods that we associate, and potatoes are more European, and otherwise they have fried foods or sufganiyot or any other type cake that you can fry. And Rabbi, thank you for sharing
Oh, my
that.
pleasure. I'm headed to shul to lead minyan, but Freilich and Chanukah, everybody. Chag
Oh,
Sameach.
likewise. And Rabbi, I'm glad you're able to join us.
Oh, it's wonderful. So good to see everybody. All right, take care, everyone.
Be well. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And Rabbi Clears, I'm glad you were able to join us too. Thank you. And does anybody have any comments, questions, anything we left out?
I can put in a plug for Yiddish New York, which is starting next Saturday night. It's online. You can get a ticket for one event or more than one. A lot of great people are in it. It's in person.
I'm sorry, is it a show, a talk show? What is it?
Oh, it's a whole event, multiple sessions, multiple people, singing, talks, lectures. Like somebody's giving a talk on the music of Mickey Katz.
That should be fun.
There's on the online, there's a couple of music, instrumental classes, lots of singing classes with some really skilled people. So it's called Yiddish New York. You can find it online. Unfortunately, the in-person is not, it is down at the Battery, so a lot of people can't get there, including me. So,
Well, thank goodness for Zoom.
yes,
Thank goodness for Zoom.
you can't schmooze on Zoom, but
Well, actually, you can. Yeah. Well, before we started, we were schmoozing. Yeah.
and you certainly can't jam on Zoom.
Okay. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming. Wish everybody a good Yontif, a happy Hanukkah, and hopefully the coming year will be a lot better. Hopefully, much, much better.
And thank you as usual, Toby, for a wonderful, wonderful program.
Yeah,
Oh, Karen, thank you. Thank you very much. And this was fun to do. And watch the coming events at Temple Israel for our upcoming programs. We haven't fixed the program, but we do have a date of January 23rd. So, we'll see if we can fix that. But we're not going to be sending out a lot of mailings. So just watch the coming events, and that'll tell you what we're doing. And again, thank you. Good Yontif.
Thank you,
Chag
Toby.
Sameach, Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you very
Happy
much.
Hanukkah, everybody. Thank you,
Happy
Toby.
Hanukkah.
Thank you.
Thank you, and be well, and have a pleasant evening. And when you eat latkes and jelly donuts for 8 straight days, eat and enjoy, but fresh responsibly. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
have
everyone.
a parting song for you.
Okay, which
Little dreidel, I made it out of ice. And when it's dry and frozen, I hope that you'll play nice. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of ice.
Dreidel.
And when it's
thank
dry
you.
and frozen, I hope that you'll play nice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad you were able to join us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, have a pleasant evening, everybody. Chag Sameach.
Your
Be
vodka
well.
scotch.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Toby.
My pleasure. I enjoyed this very much too. I enjoyed putting it together. Take care.
Thank you.